Can't believe it. He tried to be the Halloween special. Luckily, he only loaded to the 30th. Gosh, tube, man. Oh. Well, hello there. Welcome back, YouTube. Hopefully you've enjoyed the rat deck that you've probably seen as a stream replay, but as always, here's a YouTube exclusive here, and we're going to make this our Halloween special. Now, don't get too comfy with these double uploads. This is just for today. This is quite frankly to make up for that last one. Don't worry, you won't see him again. Not for a while, at least. We're going to be playing Dark Pyro. It is a prison list because it has bridge, but we'll talk about that in the deck tech. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you there. Dark Pyro here in Modern. Now we've classified the Dark Pyro list as a little bit of either Dark Pyro Prison, which we'll kind of say this is, or just in general red, black, mid-range. Now this, it's kind of a mix of both, and actually the reason I'm going to be running this is because I've been trying to find locations for Magnetic Channeler, and I think many of you are very interested in gameplay with Magnetic Channeler and seeing where does this card stack up. Now, we have quite a few cards here, but I'm going to make one last adjustment here on the recording. So we have Bridges, we have Chandra, Torch of Defiance, we've got Liliana. I like this package, the Liliana Chandra. Crocs has been exceptional. We have some good removal and Inquisition, Thoughtseize from hands or removal of creatures, Lightning Bolts terminates. Going to be searching for those. Lots of instants and sorceries for Channeler. However, just because we have Seasoned Pyromancer does not mean this is a full-on Pyro list, right? So let's fix that. Now, I'm a bit between being just a straight prison list and not. You'll notice there's no Blood Moon and there is no Chalice. Don't worry, we'll be playing Red Prism very, very soon. So in light of that and being a little more mid-range, but with the ability to perhaps stop some creatures, we don't have Damnation and Bontus or any really Anger of the God effects. We're going to remain with Bridge, but we're going to take one out. I'm actually tempted to take this Liliana Last Hope out, and we're going to play 2 Young Pyros. We're going to be kind of a token strategy. We don't have much in the sideboard here that's aggressive. We just have Eidolon of the Great Revel, so that is our aggro package. So bringing in Young Pyros and also having Pia Kirnalar and Seasoned Pyromancer, along with Magnetic Channeler, I feel like gives us the punch that we're going to need in this matchup. Sideboard has some Ravenous Traps. The only reason I'm playing this is because I have a feeling my gut's telling me we're going to run into Oops All Spells or Dredge. We have Collective Brutality here, we have Pillage, we have Eidolon, and we have Ashiok. Overall, it's closer to a mid-range list, but I know you all like this one, and it felt appropriate not to do straight Red Prison, but to play a darker version here for Halloween. Enjoy the matches. Let's get to match 1. Let's play Magic. We'll see you there. Match 1, we are queued up, playing a Dark Pyro list. Quite frankly, it is just Pyros. I mean, after all, Chandra is her own Pyromancer. It's the way we are. Anyway, we found our opponent. Let's play some Magic. Let's see how Channeler does in a mid-range list. My opponent mulligans. I'm going to go keep. I have a Thoughtseize. Looks pretty good to me. Play the Channeler, get rid of the removal spell, and probably find our 3rd and 4th lands. That's the idea, at least. Breeding Pool for our opponent. Let's go. Let's get rid of this upkeep stop. That was from before. I think Marsh Flats can be played here, and we'll just fetch. One less land to draw. Gets me a basic instead of shocking in. Just a little more forgiving here. Let's see what our opponent is up to. So we have a Gross Spiral here, Omnath, Euro, and Renin 6. So Renin 6 can't be played here. Gross Spiral could be played. Part of me thinks that I'm not so worried about Renin 6 because they don't have a fetch land. If my opponent finds a fetch land, things get really interesting here. If my turn 2 is Channeler here and they just have Renin 6, I'm going to go ahead and chance this, get rid of the Gross Spiral, and play Channeler next turn. At most, Renin 6 is probably getting only 1 land here. Looks like they did top their fetch land, so that's pretty good for them. Finds Renin 6 here, so they're going to get to pick up that Flooded Strand and get to replay it. Nice. All right. Well, didn't quite pay out for us. We thought we were going to get ahead of our opponent. Going to play the Channeler down and pass turn. Next turn I can Channeler plus Bolt if I'd like to. We can also go digging if we need. We're going to have to defeat a Euro and an Omnath here. Flooded Strand is replayed. They use this. Pretty good so far. We thought about Renin 6, but opted not to. They pick up that Flooded Strand, getting an island from our opponent. Euro's played. Hollow Fountain down, more than likely. Alright, so we may have to do that whole bridge thing going on here. Flooded Strand is the option. They fetch immediately as well. Seems my opponent's getting to do all kinds of things. Triome here, and that'll do. Alright. So we find our way into a bridge. We also have 2 channelers here. We have Omnath to beat in the future. I think this is a fine turn to go ahead and play Channeler here. Let's go ahead and attack the Renin 6. We can bolt them. We're going to get this bridge down, and we're going to have to win behind the bridge. That's probably what's going to happen here. Opponent's making all the mana colors for Omnath. They draw a card here. They'll do Renin 6 uptick for a fetch. They had one in hand. Alright, Misty Rainforest here. Picks up the Flooded Strand. We have Hallowed Fountain and a Flooded Strand here. Looks like we're going to go to end step. We'll go ahead and attempt to bolt Renin 6 because we could Chandra downtick the Omnath. We do hit that land. We have 1 here. We have the Omnath. I can attack for 2 at Renin 6. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. So Chandra here. Kill Omnath to scoot it out of the way. Scooch. And send 2 at Renin 6. Considering where we started this game, I think we're in an okay position. My opponent finds a Triome here. Renin 6 is gone. Hallowed Fountain, 5 unknowns. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus Euro in the yard. Pretty safe to get this bridge down. We also do quite a bit of damage if these become 4/4s. Flooded Strand for our opponent. Will they try to play Euro here? They can now. They have enough in the yard. Flooded Strand cracks. At this point, they could go get a basic. They opt for a Temple Garden here. Temple Garden tapped. We have green here, blue here if they like. Probably leave the Triome open. Frightening, but not the worst for us. We'll see if this Hallowed Fountain finally shows up onto the battlefield. Euro played. ETB, life gain, and draw a card. Hallowed Fountain does make its way onto the battlefield. Tapped, and sideways it goes. Alright. Let's see what the top of the library is for us. Bloodstain Mire. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and then bridge. Probably fine to go ahead and just play all of this down and not worry about the channelers right now. We can get another basic swamp here pretty safely. Let's go ahead and make mana first. We'll start with bridge just in case they have something like a Spell Pierce. Want to be able to pay for that. And then we play Pyro Nalar. What's interesting is I've been bringing back Pyro Nalar, and this is pretty much the exact situation. Opponents sometimes have 1, 2, 3 creatures. I want to block those. The bridge is in play, but their creatures are typically on the ground. And so this makes them evasive, and then I get to throw some damage at my opponent through the Thopters, just flying over our creatures. This doesn't necessarily work against taxes right now, but against most of the other field, it's doing what it needs to. Path to Exile here. Let's see here. We kind of have a lot of black in the list here. I think I'm going to keep feigning that I have a Blood Moon and get basics. If we draw a basic, we can use Channeler to theoretically kind of draw 2. And so I'm hoping to see this card pay off here. We'll see, though. Omnath for our opponent. Probably the way we're winning this is through Chandra Emblem, is my guess. Being able to cast a couple things. We'll see if they have a way to get rid of Bridge. Any chance to play a second Bridge, I will immediately do so. Fetching with the Omnath through, or gain life, made lots of mana. 4, 5, 6 mana here, making double white, double green. Growth Spirals, the choice. Misty Rainforest here. Does kill Chandra. So enough creatures, or sorry, enough land drops and my opponent could certainly just kill us. By holding different fetch lands, they may be able to do a lot more as they go. We have made a lot of mana. Oh, a Nexus of Fate. Okay. Nice. Nice. The Nexus of Fate, huh? Alright, well, I don't have anything to do here. We'll F6 through this turn. Land and no follow-up. Thoughtseize is probably what I don't want to be doing here. This does 4 damage, so if I do a Thoughtseize, I'm within striking distance. So let's go ahead and use a Channeler here, see if I can find something a little more interesting. The answer is no. We find 2 lands. All good, though. All good. I know I could be attacking with the Thopters. It's probably not a bad idea here. We're pretty close to dying, though. There's another Polluted Delta here, so we can do 4 to me if they would like to. Fetch and fetch. In some ways, the Blood Moon would be saving us at this point in the game. Opponent makes a lot of mana here. Looks like we're going to 2. I will not fetch. They do a Mystic Sanctuary to pick up a Growth Spiral here because playing the extra lands is the way they're going to kill us. It's a smart play. Alright, let's get frisky with the 2 Thopters this time around. Let's not forget to do that. I'm not feeling too good at 2 life, though. Okay. I see a Lightning Bolt here. Go ahead and Lightning Bolt them. Can't get rid of Omnath, unfortunately. Now, having 2 Channelers out, we're seeing a little bit of the issue that we can run into. In that, if we're completely hellbent, we're not going to get a whole lot going on. We can't dig as fast as we'd like to. No land from the Growth Spiral, which is a good sign here. I think we're safe. Time Warps gets to replay. Okay. Okay. Really need to kill that Omnath so that my 2 life is okay here. Jace. Jace is probably a cool way to set up a couple lands here. I presume I will be dead next turn. There's a fetch land. Alright, it looks like we're dead next turn. The reason I say this is because... my opponent can really just play another land. Let's go ahead and fetch here. Let's go to 1. This allows me to play a Chandra, and I'm going to have a ton of looks here. So we'll start with a Seasoned Pyromancer here. Draw 2. We find Inquisition and Kroxa. This could clear the hand, but a land off the top is just a win here. So let's go ahead and discard Kroxa here. Looking at a few more cards. We do find a Terminate. So Terminate gets rid of Omnath. Let's attempt to play the Terminate here. I like this line. We could have looked a little deeper before. I could also Inquisition first. Maybe we were supposed to Inquisition first. We should have Inquisitioned first. Let's look again. Should have Inquisitioned first with that. That was a misstep on our part. Inquisitioning there, terminating the Omnath here. We probably get several more turns here. I say that with Jace being here. Maybe that's not the case. Alright, we fetch here. Well, I assume we fetch. They're doing the Jace stuff, though, first. Smart on them. So if we Inquisition there... I'm going to get a Time Warp. Picks up the Time Warp. We've made a lot of mana. Do they not have another land here? I think this is the 4 damage. I forget where we're at. It looks like 4. Okay. Little misstep there. Little misstep, but my opponent is also at 30 life. Are we coming back there? Maybe a Liliana gets there at some point. Maybe not. Maybe not. Alright, Ashiok, Pillage, Eidolons look pretty decent here. I like my bridge. I particularly don't like the lightning bolts here. Lightning bolts probably killing nothing. I like terminates. I like the Blood Chief's Thirst. I like Thoughtseize and Inquisition here. I like a wider board. I think we can take these out. I'm going to bring Ashioks in first, followed by Pillage. Chandra's a way to kill Omnath, which is important in this matchup. Maybe Eidolon is not important. Let's go one more Pillage here. Let's do that over... Do that over one bridge. I have the Seasoned Pyromancers and the Young Pyromancer to make a lot of chump blockers. It's not like they're trying to attack me too aggressively here. I'm wondering if I want these Collective Brutalities and try to forego the bridge, or if I go more on the Young Pyro, Seasoned Pyromancer Channelers and Pias and try to just block out as much as I can. I'm on the play. It's very tempting to go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and let's give it a shot here. A little more discard here, trying to control my opponent's hand, converting ourselves into a little more mid-range, maybe take care of some lands, have a wide board, so on and so forth. Let's go. Let's play first. All right, I'll keep this. It's not a bad hand. Definitely, I think, worth considering here. I can throw out a Young Pyro. We can Inquisition, we can Kroxa pretty quickly. We have 3 fetch lands towards the Kroxa, and we have an answer to a quicker Omnath. Alright, well, we only have one option there. My opponent's got 4 lands and a Teferi. Terminate's not going to do a whole lot for us here. Misty Rainforest is the leading card. Let's start with Young Pyro here and pass the turn. We're a little ways away from the Kroxa being able to be unearthed. So, Young Pyro it is. Misty Rainforest cracked here. The Trial. Polluted Delta cracks that. We got rid of Wrenn and 6. Let's see what's next, though. Breeding Pool could be anything. Growth Spiral. Wrenn and 6 again. Alright, well, we know they had a million lands anyway. Let's go ahead and play a Kroxa here, do all the sacrificing, all that good stuff. We're just going to fetch in response to all this happening. Make our opponent discard a card, and we will get Kroxa here next turn off of our Bloodstained Mire. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will be the 5th card. Looks good. Hallowed Fountain pitched here. We have Teferi, Flooded Strand. The pitching there with Kroxa really wasn't going to do a lot. Not with Wrenn and 6 here. Misty Rainforest. Immediately fetching. My opponent is at 12 life. Doing a lot of our work for us. Teferi's been played. Teferi will go up here. All right, a little bit awkward now. Seeing the Teferi means they're going to get to just pop the Kroxa back to my hand. But we'll go ahead and play this. We don't have any other play for this turn. It at least gets them to discard a card. They'll just redraw with Teferi, and they're just going to pick up their land with Wrenn and 6. Our discard plan is definitely not coming together here. Picks up Misty. Plays Misty. We have Teferi Hero. They decide going up with Teferi is a good idea. This worries me a little bit that they have something like Path to Exile. Path to Exile it is. All right. This isn't too bad. Let's continue to fetch here. I'm going to go ahead and play the Liliana down. Get rid of our mountain here. They'll leave themselves with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. A little bit frustrating to see that's what we'll be playing against here. Liliana herself is not very good against Wrenn and 6. Time Warp's been pitched here. Looks like my opponent's A-okay though. Wrenn and 6 is going to pick up their land, get their Teferi. They are at 8. Maybe I should have left those bolts in here. We do have Blood Chiefs, so Blood Chiefs could get rid of some of these Planeswalkers. The game changes so much there with that top deck Wrenn and 6 for sure. They've been able to hit all their lands since playing that. Mystic Sanctuary here, going to pick up Time Warp. Does so. Probably pick up this hero. Maybe even bounce the Liliana because they know next turn they're getting to go again. Oh boy. Could just pick it up too. Why not? Draws the card. So they picked up the Time Warp. Draws another card here. Go ahead and Blood Crypt here. Alright. Well, we get to discard a card. That's kind of nice. Chandra, huh? Play Chandra. Uptick for damage. Is there a reason I didn't get to play this? Ah, it's Teferi. Indeed. Go up with Liliana. Now we're threatening the two pieces here. We're threatening to kill them and threatening to separate lands and Planeswalkers more than likely. They get rid of a Wrenn and 6. We know they have a Time Warp here. This Teferi cannot hit Planeswalkers. This one could, though. Picks up Misty. Each one of these can pick up and get a Mystic Sanctuary as well. I imagine in some ways my opponent should just play their Time Warp here. And then Time Warp Misty Rainforest to put it back on top so they get the redraw with this Teferi. They're getting very close to just being able to do Wrenn and 6 here. They probably can chain this together and get us. That being said, they're almost dead here with the fetching. Their next turn, I presume we're going to see ourselves doing another Time Warp here. They pick up a land, Hallowed Fountain specifically with Wrenn and 6. Let's be the Time Warp. Draw with Teferi. And then Teferi Time Reveler went up. Flooded Strand here. You could crack this, put Time Warp back on top. Then they get to draw. They could put Wrenn and 6 up, and then they can kind of infinitely do this with the Teferis. I think we lose. We have the Terminate ready and going for the creatures, and it appears there's just no creatures over there. There he is. There Omnath is. Okay. A little bit interesting to play the Omnath there instead of just going one more turn here because your Teferis are so high up. Ah, okay. We had a fetch land. They gain life. They go down life. Basic Forest? Ah, no, Steam Vents. Tapped in because we're going to get a lot of mana here. A lot of mana turns into a Time Warp. Teferi down. Sorry, Teferi up. Drawing a card. Well then. Hero pile with Teferis. Renin 6s. Taking us down. We'll let our opponent complete this. But hey. If we would have not had them top deck a Renin 6 that time. Or the other time top deck the land they needed. It would have been pretty okay. Just saying. Let's see how they want to finish this. Extra turn. Teferi up. This Teferi up. Ren 6 down. Emblem, I presume. No, they go up. Misty Rainforest here. The whole gaining life really messes us up here too. They're now at 10, where we had them pretty low. What are you gonna do? Let's see what they want to do here. Mystic Sanctuary puts what? Time Warp back on top again? Does so. Do they have a draw card like a Growth Spiral? If they do, we'll concede. It's just a matter of them putting the final pieces together here. Concession button. Click, 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 click. New Omnath to draw the card that they put on top in Time Warp. It's good enough for me. Alright. Well played, opponent. You got us. Dark Pyro getting the door shut on us. 0-1. Next match. Let's go. Match 2. Got a little beat up there. All good though. Didn't bring in the Ravenous Traps. Didn't really need them game 2. Opponent was able to get us with pretty much just Planeswalkers. We don't have much to take care of Planeswalkers, unfortunately. I've cut Dreadbores from this list for something a little more quick to react, like Terminates and Bolts. Didn't pay off. Match 2. Let's find an opponent. Let's play some Magic. There we go. Pretty quick. Pretty quick. Let's go. Queued up. Let's see what our next opponent is. Let's play first. 2 lands seems good. Most of our deck functions at 2 to 3 with just a little bit at Chandra at 4. We'll go ahead and start with this. We have 2 removal spells as well and a nice Thoughtseize. Let's see what's going on. Alright, we have an Astral Drift Blood Moon deck here. Some Cast Outs, some Flourishing Foxes here, Street Wraith. Huh. Cast Out's going to be kind of a pain in the future. I don't care about the Blood Moon. Honestly, it's probably just the Astral Drift because I don't have a whole lot to deal with it. Flourishing Fox we can kill with Blood Chief or Lightning Bolt. Yeah, it's a 1/1. So not too concerned about that. Crocs is probably our next thing to do here. If I do top deck a land, I'll go get that second Swamp here just in case they do play Blood Moon. We do have Liliana in the deck. We do have Crocs that we would like to recast at some point. Sacred Foundry off the top. All right. Nice. Find ourselves a bridge. Let's go ahead and fetch. We'll go ahead and shock as well. And just play a Croxa past turn. make them discard again. To me, I think they should just discard the Blood Moon, quite frankly. I've kind of shown that I'm of a deck of red and black at this point, and so Blood Moon probably doesn't do a lot. And they do so. Well done. Good choice. Pretty dead card for us. I'd love them to play the Flourishing Fox. That would allow me to fire some things off at it, but not going to happen here. All right, we'll play Bridge here, pass turn. Bridge seems a bit odd for sure, because my opponent looks like I would probably need to attack them, but I'm almost wanting them to go ahead and think of where they want to place this cast out, whether it's on Chandra, Bridge, or Kroxa in the future. My opponent cycles a Forgotten Cave here, drawing a card. Their deck is full of cyclers, so I'm not surprised by the cycler. Cycles the Flourishing Fox as well. So my opponent's probably just going to cycle a whole bunch of things and play the newer card that allows you to deal damage based on cycled cards. We'll see if that becomes a thing. Let's go ahead and do Inquisition here. Check on the hand. See what else is going on over there. Simeon's Spirit Guide is exiled. We have the Wandering and a Cast Out. Sounds good. We'll just pass the turn. Probably cycle this. Cycles the turtle. Cool. Cycling the turtle puts it back into the library. We know about the cast out. I'll keep it near the front. And my opponent cycles a Forgotten Cave as well. Again, just cycle, 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 cycle. Now, we do know they have the turtle, so that's a good reason to have Bridge here. Cycles a Street Wraith. I still think they're going to play potentially that card that deals damage at some point, based on cyclers in the yard. Windswept Heath has been played. I'm going to go ahead and cash that in for a Plains here. Blood Moon. It's fine. It is fine. All right. Go ahead, opponent. We kind of whiff here. I'm going to probably throw the Bolt upstairs at this point. Take them down to 10 would be nice. Basic lands. Love another land. It doesn't matter what we get here. Bolt upstairs takes them to 10. We do hit our land. I'm going to play Pia and Kiran Alar. So the reason to play this over the Chandra is Pia Kiran can throw our Bridge if we end up finding another black for Kroxa. It also produces 4 power on the board, which makes the game a 2-turn clock when I play Chandra here. And this cast out probably has to go after Pia Kiranalar instead of after Chandra. Chandra's going to help us dig. It feels pretty good where we're at. I think they did use this Arid Mesa at some point, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Cycles the cast out, so we have no idea what's going on anymore. I feel good where we're at. Not great, but good. Let's go combat here. All right. Oh, condemns. All right. We hit for 2. I'd love the Thoughtseize. I'm going to go ahead and play a Chandra instead, though, because I think the Chandra ends the game just a touch quicker. And I don't think out of 2 cards plus their draw step here that my opponent's going to have enough to kill me. We'll see, though. A couple Helixes will keep them alive for a while. Cycles the turtle. Land. That might have been that Arid Mesa. Extra Blood Moon here. And concedes. Nice. Sweet. Okay. So we have Turtle. We have Astral Drift. So whenever this is... whenever you cycle this or cycle another card with Astral Drift is on the battlefield, you may exile a target creature. If you do, return the card. It's kind of an interesting little thing that you can do here. Definitely flickering some stuff, I'd imagine. I think we want to be more aggressive against this opponent. I like Collective Brutality, maybe. I don't know. Enchantment was there, creatures, lands. Random Blood Moon. I think maybe it's just Eidolons. Just Eidolons here. They can make a fairly big creature. Let's take 2 bolts out, 1 Liliana. 1 Liliana and 1 maybe Blood Chiefs. Just diversifying what we have just to be a little bit more aggressive here. I think with a big Channeler, an Eidolon, and just like a Seasoned Pyromancer played, I think we win this game. Keeping in mind that almost the entire deck is pretty much double red pips anyway, so that's why that Blood Moon doesn't really matter too much against us. It does hinder Kroxa ever so slightly, and I'm just going to have to accept that that's the thing it will do. Alright, submitted. Let's go to game 2. Feels good to beat a Blood Moon deck, but not totally surprised. Alright. To me, the opening hand's fine. Prefer maybe an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize instead of Kroxa, but we'll keep this. Probably doing Channeler into Seasoned Pyromancer, and we have a Terminate in case they get something crazy. Use Prismatic Vista for a basic Swamp near the beginning as well, just to avoid some problems. Flourishing Fox for our opponent. It's kind of nice to have the Terminate now. I don't believe I need to use the Terminate immediately here, although we'll see how big this gets. Let's go ahead and yield to this. Street Race Cycle already making it a 2/2. This is sort of proving my point that Bolt may not be worth it. Secluded Step, this is now a 3/3. I wonder if I play Young Pyro first. Might just do that with the idea that if they do have, say, a Bolt here, it's not killing the Channeler, which probably helps us out in the long run. Now I have another Channeler. Now it really doesn't matter too much. We'll still stick with the Young Pyro here. Young Pyro being able to terminate next turn here and generate a token is not a bad place to be at. We'll be no blocking again here. Almost wish my opponent would help me out here with a Blood Moon. Arid Mesa, choosing to attack. We'll accept this attack. Okay. Lightning Bolts, Young Pyro here. One less for the Channeler. Let's put this sideways, and let's terminate here. Not playing around a Mana Tithe. I don't believe they would be running such a card. And away it goes. All right, we're at 13. My opponent's at 14 here. Thinking I want to do Seasoned Pyromancer, pitching Pia and Kroxa as my next play. If I top deck a land, maybe it's 2 Channelers. Cast a Simian Spirit Guide. That's not good. And a new Fox. And a new Fox. Okay. I could empty their hand, or at least I think I can. I have a lot of mana. That would cost me a little bit to do. I don't like the idea. Thoughtseize into Kroxa here. Then I just have to deal with 3 damage on the board. I'm playing Seasoned Pyromancer, getting probably these both to the yard. Pia Kirin next, make tons of blockers. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We get rid of a Condemn here, and then we will get Kroxa down. Actually, Channeler now blocks. Let's do Channeler instead, because the last card was just an Arid Mesa. If they're able to get rid of the Channeler, this would have been gone anyway. Forgotten Cave cycled here. Arid Maze, so we knew about this card. Fetching. Plains. Cast out. Ooh, Avalanche Riders. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Well, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see here. Fetch Shock is kind of painful. Fetch Shock is kind of painful, but it's probably the turn to go ahead and do this. I could also put just a Blood Crypt in sideways. You know what? Blood Crypt sideways, just play new Channeler here and pass the turn with a pair of 1/3s as defenders. My opponent has to pay to keep Avalanche Riders around, which minimizes what they can do here on the top of their library. A cycle card would be painful, but I think we're going to have enough blockers here to do the trick. Ah, they don't even attack. All right. Nice. Let's cash in Croxa here, because I'm going to get to replay it. I can put another land down, which feels pretty okay. I feel somewhat safe going to 5. It's not much different than the 6 I was at. Get to play Croxa here. Nice beefy blocker. We left Terminate and Young Pyro in the yard. Opponent discards a turtle. Alright. We can easily block the 2/2 here. We can block another 2/2, and we could go to 3. So we are in bolt range this turn. Abrades away my Channeler. Alright. Not great for us. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Fox. There's an Inquisition that I don't particularly care about. Play a Seasoned Pyromancer, getting rid of Mountain plus Inquisition. We won't even bother playing the Marsh Flats here. I can attack with the 6/6 and do 9 to them. There's a number of things that kill me off the top, but a removal spell is not one of those. What do they find? Windswept Heath is not a kill spell. There you go. We get there against the Astral Slide deck. Pretty cool. Not very good when their choice of card has to be a Simian Spirit Guide coming down. We take it there. 1-1 overall, playing Dark Pyro in Modern. We'll see you in match 3. Match 3 here. Getting that 1-1 so far. Doing what we needed to in match number 2. Let's find our next opponent. Let's continue to play Magic, and let's see if we can close this one all the way out with a 4-1. Maybe we can do that. All right. Opponent found. Let's go. Let's see what they're on. We get to play first. Always good with the Thoughtseize deck. We missed Thoughtseize. That being said, the hand's pretty okay. We'll keep. Would prefer one more land here, but at least we have Young Pyro plus Terminate. Feeling okay. Bridge is looking a little weak in our list from time to time. At the same time, game 1 it did do some work, so not totally upset with it. Basic planes here. Giver of the Ruins. We'll go get a Blood Crypt. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and slap down Young Pyro here. Could end up terminating, following it up with a Liliana here. We'll stay the course. I think we'll be okay. A little bit lucky that my opponent didn't play an Arbiter. We get rid of young Pyro. We'll go get basic swamp. Alright, we're in a position here where we've sort of got to get rid of one of these givers. If we don't, they end up protecting themselves for infinity. So let's take the turn to go ahead and terminate one of these. Bloodstain Mire, fetch. Protection. Gave it protection from black. I should go fetch basic mountain here. Scare him. Scare him. Alright. What's next? Bridge is actually looking somewhat decent here, although if it's Heliod combo, it's looking a little weaker. So far, we don't see a reason, though, that it would be what we think. I wonder if Seasoned Pyromancer just ditching Inquisition and Liliana's okay here. Planning to bridge in the future. Wonder if I'm supposed to Inquisition instead. I could also Liliana uptick this turn. You know what? Let's give that a shot. Liliana, let's go uptick. We're going to get rid of the Inquisition here as the weaker card. This puts it at 4. I don't see my opponent attacking me necessarily. But they might. They might throw all of it at it. Do they need to get rid of Liliana now? The answer is sort of, but not really. Sort of, but not really. Alright, let's go ahead and slap down a Seasoned Pyromancer. Getting rid of land plus bridge here. I want to hold one of these bridges. Get an Inquisition. Ah, that's right. Cost more because of this guy. Well, let's just go up here and get rid of the Marsh Flats. Feeling pretty okay here. My opponent's just getting rid of lands, it seems. This also puts Liliana at 3. Uh-oh. Path. Well, that helps me out a little bit. Alright. Well, Inquisition plus Bridge here is our next plan. We can play both. Opponent plays a Swamp here. Probably just chump blocking at this point. In some ways, I think they should just be giving us pro-red to get through to the Liliana. But they don't. Play a bridge here. We're going to go ahead and get rid of a Thoughtseize because that's kind of painful. Pass turn. Not completely hellbent just yet, but very close. Very close. And it'd be great to get Liliana up to 6 or so and get to use her ability. They attack for 1 here, keeping 1 giver back for protection. Plays a Ghost Quarter here, and that's their turn. We'll play our land here. We'll go ahead and Inquisition them for fun and uptick Liliana. Whoa, nothing there. Interesting. Less clicks for my opponent. More clicks for me. Such a good guy, aren't we? Opponent does nothing here. We can... I guess we'll play Croxa here. If it happens to be like a land, for whatever reason, we get to do damage. It's a new Thalia. Let's go ahead and get rid of some lands here to bring this back. We'll get rid of the bridge as well, leaving ourselves with Inquisition's Thoughtseizes so that our Magnetic Channeler is as big as possible. We're getting the hang of how this works. For those going, hey, you've got a bridge, you can't attack with Croxa, you are absolutely correct. Let's make them sacrifice a creature. They played the land for me. We'll go ahead and pass here, holding the bolt. Opponent plays a land. I presume they will not attack. This is a really good follow-up here. Chandra, uptick for damage. Ooh, Pia Kira Nalar would have been nice to go over. Let's go ahead and make them sacrifice another creature here. We'll pass the turn. We're just trying to clear out what they have for creatures. We've got a pretty good stranglehold on this game. I'm not too worried about where we're at. Tide Hollow. Let's go ahead and kill the Gibber. We're going to get this up to an emblem and kill him that way. If they find a way to get rid of my bridge, we've got the big beefy Croxa here. Things are looking pretty good. Land drop, up with Chandra, up with Lily. I do not want to play a new Chandra for sure. Go ahead, opponent. Power combo here. Doing what it needs to. Doing what it needs to. Alright, so we have black-white. I'll presume this is taxes based on the few cards that we've seen so far. Givers, Thalias, and Tide Hollows. So we'll need things like Collective Brutality seem fine here. I kind of like the idea of Pillage. What I don't like, let's see here. Honestly, Young Pyro probably doesn't get through too often. What else do I not like? I kind of like everything else. I like Liliana. It helps us get rid of things when they have so many givers out. I could maybe drop a Thoughtseize. Let's do only 2 pillage, or 1 pillage. And let's do a Thoughtseize Young Pyro. And let's get rid of maybe a Singleton Croxa, because they're going to have a lot of chump blockers. Bringing Collective Brutalities is an extra removal. We're bringing a Pillage just on the off chance that we want to get rid of, say, an Aether Vial. Or we saw the Tide Hollows, maybe a pesky land. And then we're taking out Thoughtseize. Not so concerned about casting those. We'll see. We'll see. Opening hand I kind of like, but I'm afraid of a Thalia. I think we have to mulligan here. Having a 3 and a 4 drop here against the Thalia deck is just not going to get us there. This hand, though, we can keep this. Keep this. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Cliffs. Keeping 2 fetch lands, which is a little bit risky, but we have 1 basic here. Burnington Forge. Start with a Marsh Flats, pass turn. Looking better now that I have the Blood Crypt. Silent Clearing here. A Rest in Peace, making our Croxa less interesting. All good. We'll play Channeler first instead. Channeler's here just to dig at this point. My opponent has a protection from red creature. We're actually going to struggle a little bit to get through this for a while, but that's okay. Opponent attacks, nothing for us to do. Probably just cash in the Sulphurous Springs with the Channeler here, see if I can hit something more interesting to play. We do miss some of our 4 drops here by doing it this turn. I'm okay with that, though. Oh, can't bolt this, so we'll take a Thoughtseize. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize them. I can play the Croxa just as discard as well, which is kind of nice. What do we got? Skyclave, Path, and an Anguished Unmaking. Well, this hurts them. Can exile pretty much anything. This is a creature. This is kind of a pain to deal with. Let's take the Skyclave here and see what else they want to keep. By Croxing as well. I imagine they might get rid of this. Oh, they path my Croxa, but I'm about to lose it. I'll take that land. Absolutely. It's a strange play, opponent. Now you have to discard, too. Cycles of Silent Clearing? Ooh, man. This opponent's going nuts. They get rid of Flicker Wisp, so they have Ghost Quarter and Anguished Unmaking. Interesting. I don't know about that play. They play a Plains here, so we still know what's going on over there. Definitely going to cash in the Channeler for another spell here. Let's do that. Let's get rid of a fetch land. That kind of hurts us. Dang. I'll just do Inquisition here to steal the Anguished Unmaking, and then I can play Liliana down tick if I want to. They're gonna cash this in, it looks like. So we just have Ghost Quarter. Works for me. Liliana down tick here. I'm not gonna play the Blood Crypt. I want it to be used for the Channeler and digging with it later. My opponent does play that Ghost Quarter. 1 card for them. Let's just start with an uptick here. We'll get rid of the Inquisition because they will have no cards. Play a Channeler and pass turn. Now Channeler's never gonna grow here, but we can use this to dig for Liliana. New Lilianas, Croxas, removal spells, Chandra, so on and so forth. Cash the Bloodstained Mire in. We'll get a Seasoned Pyromancer, seems good. Instead of losing this land, I feel like shocking it in is totally fine here. Played Seasoned Pyromancer. An uptick. Probably should have upticked when I had Seasoned Pyromancer off to the side. But I'll be okay with how we've gotten this out there. Caves for my opponents. The 2-1 probably comes in at Lily. No block for us. Honestly, none of this really does anything. Let's use Channeler here, getting rid of Croxa for starters. At the Blood Chief's Thirst. Let's kill this. Pay the extra. Player land, uptick Lily, attack for 2. Everything coming together. Now we're going to beat down very, very slowly. We have very small creatures. But we have Liliana that can get rid of just about anything that my opponent plays. We have an Eldrazi Displacer here. Luckily for me, I get to just terminate, go up, and hit for 3. A lot of removal, so we're pretty good against creature decks, that's for sure. In for 3, 11 to 12. Liliana above 3. Or sorry, above 2. Looking good. Let's cash this in. Look for something more. Bolt's more damage than we would have done. Bolt upstairs, uptick. Attack for 2, pass turn. Looking good. Down to 6. Giver. I don't believe my opponent really has an out here. We'll kill this. Play new Liliana. Keep new Liliana uptick and attack for 3. It'll be my opponent's turn. We'll see if they've got anything. The answer appears to be no. We'll attack for 3. And it'll be the end of the road for them. Getting there. Beating black-white taxes. Pretty good. We did the beatdown plan. We had the bridge the other time. We do prison. Just a little bit. Kind of like a red-black luxurious prison. Lots of options for our inmates. We'll see you all in the next one. Match 3 behind us. Match 4 approaching us. Right in front. We are 1-2, 2-0, 2-0, bringing us to a 2-1 current record here in Modern, playing Dark Pyro with a splash of Prison in Modern. There we go. Opponent found. Let's play Magic. We get to play first as well. Always good. We get good luck, have fun. You too, opponents. You too. Okay. I'll keep this. We have Obosh, which typically means some variation of prowess. I'm going to lead with our mountain here and probably get some basics as well. Opponents asked me if I'm streaming. The answer is no. This is a YouTube exclusive. Pretty good hand against this opponent too. Prowess, got the bridge, got the Seasoned Pyromancers. We're gonna be good. Gonna be good. Alright, Mountain past the turn. We don't want to take too much damage while we're going through this game. Just simply put, it'll be a problem. Opponent's planning to do quite a bit of damage to us, I presume. Let's not yield there, just in case. Second main, no action from our opponent. Alright, let's go ahead and get a basic here. I have a feeling they have removal, but why not? Throw the Channeler down. Let's see what's up. Now, I do want to keep pretty much everything in my hand. Channeler is just here to make use of our mana. They bolt us. Extra Mountain. Appears my opponent does not have removal? Let's go get another basic here. Let's go ahead and Season Pyromancer. I think I want to keep the land, but at the same time, I can play another Season Pyromancer here. Let's do Lightning Bolt and land away. There we go. Looking fine. We get the Season Pyromancer next turn. We can even hide that we have the bridges if we want to. Let's put 3 power on the battlefield, which is pretty good. Opponent bolts our Season Pyromancer. That bolt's not going to our face, which is excellent for us. 3 mana. I do think I'm going to want these bridges. I don't think I'm going to need more than 1, though. So we can probably play land, ditch whatever we draw, and the bridge for the Season Pyromancer. Opponent does their own Season Pyromancer shenanigans here. They get rid of a Blood Moon and a Mountain. Oh, Kroxa. Well, Season Pyromancer here. We're going to get rid of probably 2 bridges now, seeing that we have a Kroxa, because we're going to be able to beat them faster, I think. So we can get to this a little bit later. Let's play the Black Cleave Cliff since it comes in sideways and past the turn. We have 4 mana here. If I draw another untapped, we could definitely just do Blood Chiefs here. Remember, Blood Chiefs at 4 mana kills Obosh as well, and Obosh doesn't come down and attack us. Lucky Fluke is a fan of our YouTube videos. A shout out to you. We'll see if you find this one. If you do, leave me a comment in the YouTube. Just say something like, hey, we played on MTGO. I said I was a fan. Here comes a bunch of people doing that. I'll find you. Flame Slashes or Season Pyromancer. I might triple block their Season Pyromancer. Keeping in mind that our Season Pyromancers can come back as creatures here soon too. We decided to do this. I'm going to triple block over here. If they have another removal, it's just damage not going to my face here. And if they decide Lava Dart, then we're in a really weird place. Let's just say that. Can't put Obosh to hand here. Hand's going to be 1s and 2s drops. I'm going to light up the stage. Still Scar plus light up the stage. We might see another light up the stage back to back here. Kroxa looks like it's just going to get rid of something in their hand here. Extra light up the stage. Another light up the stage, Mountain and a Soul Scar. Plays the Mountain. Do they have one more thing to do, or are they going to light up the stage a 3rd time? Running light up the stages here. That's a lot of card draw. Lights the stage again. Sunbaked and a light up the stage. Jeez. It's a heck of a number of light up the stages here. 1, 2, 3. Kroxagon this. I really need to probably hang on to Blood Chiefs here. Season Pyromancer getting rid of Kroxa plus something else is probably okay. I don't particularly care about their hand at the moment. Yeah, that looks great. We'll attack for 1. That converted nicely. We've got Kroxa to bring in if we'd like to. We have the Blood Chiefs. We have a Liliana as well. Keeping things in check. I don't think they're going to do damage to me unless they have bolts. Or something else. I guess they have what? No Firebolts yet. Sunbaked Canyon gives them the 5th land for Seasoned Pyromancer. Something to be aware of. Lights the stage again. Okay. So a lot of options here. Land. Could bolt Seasoned Pyromancer, playing Monastery Swiftspear and getting in. They might want this Soulscar Mage, though, because I have Kroxa. So before we play Kroxa, we're going to get the Young Pyro down here. This Lightning Bolt is chill for a little bit longer, I believe. Both of these are fine. Plays a Flame Slash to get rid of my Seasoned Pyromancer here. This makes this a 2/3. No actions. Alright. We know that these could show up next turn. Wonder if I'm just supposed to play a Kroxa here. Probably not with the Lightning Bolt coming up. What if I play Young Pyro plus Blood Chiefs here, getting rid of Soulscar Mage? Set ourselves up for a nice Kroxa. This isn't in the hand yet. It's just Lightning Bolt and Swiftspear. Seems like an okay turn to me. Makes an extra elemental here as well. And I get to attack for some damage. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Saves the Channeler as well, although I believe... let's see here. 1... 2... Oh, we only have 2 things for Channeler. Channeler's not very big at the moment. They'll want to kill the Young Pyro here, more than likely, just because the Young Pyro can get a nice wide board, and that's definitely what they do not want to be seeing here. They do bolt it. Alright. And attacks. I'll take all 3 if they do this. I'll take 2. They've already gotten through all their light up the stages, so I'm not worried about that card. This might be an Obosh to hand kind of turn. Mountain was played, and Obosh to hand. So Obosh, 2 unknowns. Thoughtseize would be pretty cool to rip here. Alright, we rip a Lightning Bolt. Let's think here. Go ahead and go for combat here. See if they want to just trade an elemental for me. That'd be very kind of them. The idea here is that I can bolt this and play Liliana uptick, and then Obosh is definitely difficult for them to just play. Looks like that's the line here. Go ahead and bolt. Play a Liliana here. And I'll definitely uptick with this Liliana to put it out of bolt range. Does mean I lose a Channeler here. I think that's going to be okay because our next plan here is to play Kroxa. They'll have Obosh plus an unknown card. Blood Moon was pitched. Pulling up my graveyard because we're about to play Kroxa this coming turn. It's also 6/6. Dies to this, but that's okay. We could replay it. We're in a great spot here. Fantastic. Now, Obosh is 5. Maybe they play Swiftspear plus Obosh. Then I just downtick Liliana and kill the Swiftspear. Play Kroxa probably. Speaking of, Soulscar Mage. Speaking of a creature. I'm going to just slap down the Obosh. Ooh. Seasoned Pyromancer tokens is our choice here. Okay. So they lose Obosh. We'll play this down. Up with this. Pretty simple turn for us here. They're going to cash in their Sunbaked. Let's get rid of Swamp, Bridge, Blood Crypt, Bloodstained Mire. Kroxa gets rid of the Obosh. All right. No attacks here. I like defending a little bit. So Obosh is now in the yard. One card off the top, plus the Sunbaked Canyon. Liliana keeping things in check. And Croxa. If they do kill Croxa, I get to reanimate back, or escape it rather. And then I have a pair of Seasoned Pyromancers that are still in the yard, which I could cash in for some tokens as well. Hand did what it needed to. Nice. All right. I feel like this is Collective Brutality Eidolon territory here. I actually like Bridge against Prowess. I don't like Bridge against Burn. Biggest problem card is Goblin Guide when that ends up happening. I don't think I need Thoughtseize here, although it'd be great to get rid of Obosh. I think it's just a painful card that I need to just ignore. We could probably go down one Liliana here. Channelers are going to be interesting. I want to keep my Croxa. Probably Channeler I can go down one as well. That would be 5. I'd have 2 more slots here, which is probably just a big Chandra. And possibly just a Singleton Bridge. Let's look at this. Because if we get stuck behind the bridge, we don't particularly want an Eidolon. Collective Brutality is more removal. Thoughtseize is removed, even though I'm on the draw, just because Thoughtseize is going to be, Young Pyro is probably the best card here, and Seasoned Pyromancer making blockers. I do want to hit my Crocs at some point. Liliana is probably just removal as well, but not the best because it's not targeted. I'm good with this. Let's go. Okay. Let's see what we got. Well, I've got the Bridge, Channeler, Seasoned Pyromancer. I'm not disappointed. No removal. No removal, and I do already have... I don't have double black, but I have double red here, so this will never do damage to me. I'm not disappointed with the hand. I think I'm going to keep. Little weak to if they have a heavy creature hand. But what are you going to do sometimes? They did decide to mulligan to 6. Come on, Lucky Fluke. Take us to game 3. We know you can do it. 6 cards. Land. Creature? Nothing. Alright, so they've got like Bolt. Maybe they've got to light up the stage, kind of heavy hand. Play Cliff's pass turn. Crocs is a nice pickup here. Gives me something to pitch to Seasoned Pyromancer. I don't particularly think I'm going to run the Crocs out, but we could. We could. If they miss a land drop, we probably play Crocs over the Magnetic Channeler. But if they don't miss it, we're probably playing Channeler and then seeing if I play this later. Alright, no actions for our opponent. We'll have 6 through this turn. I have no actions here. By the way, I say about F16 through, it's just more to save time, allow me to be hands off and talk to you all. There's a bow mat. They missed their land drop here. Okay, they do have that land drop, so I'm going to play Channeler probably. We do have that light up the stage. They have another bow mat and a pillage here. Ooh, Eidolon's an interesting one. Extra bow mat's a little bit of a pain. Pillage is a little bit of a pain too. I'm going to play Eidolon here. I doubt they want to just play a pillage and take 2 and clear and then have this block. So we blank this card probably. If they have removal, they've got to use it here before playing Bowmat. And if they're playing just Bowmat and attacking, it's an easy block and they take 2. Eidolon definitely felt like a pretty good draw there. There's a Firebolt. Alright, so we're not getting pillaged here. My opponent's taking 2. Probably this other Bowmat down. We'll slam down probably Seasoned Pyromancer, Croxa to the bin. Maybe whatever we top deck. We'll see. They may even want to use the Bowmat here because it has 2 cards behind it. So they may not even play this Bowmat. And having not attacked with this Bowmat, I have a feeling they might. Decides to light up the stage, does find their land here, and they do find a relic, which is extremely powerful. They're debating whether to play the relic now or later. Playing it later allows them to cycle a Bowmat if I go after it. I think they should play later. They do play now, though. And takes my Eidolon. Alright, so Crocs is kind of like hit or miss here in terms of its value to us in this game. So I like Seasoned Pyromancer, get rid of Croxa. I don't know if I want to get rid of Channeler. Channeler's not going to grow necessarily, though. Bridge is kind of interesting here. Chandra's interesting. Maybe I do just get rid of the Bridge. Do red here. Seasoned Pyromancer, get rid of the Croxa and the Bridge here. Plan to use Channeler in the future. It's a nice couple cards we just went into. I like our hand now. Got a few pieces I like now. Nothing I can play with Chandra being able to do Chandra uptick for mana. I could just slap down the Channeler here. Get rid of our Bridge off the Relic activation. Got plenty to block this Bowmat now. I don't think it's going to be growing anymore. Land drop. It could be attacking and I just block here. And when we block, my opponent may stomp Seasoned Pyromancer with a Bone Crusher Giant. Plays a Soulscar Mage. Alright, we're attacking with Beaumont here and probably just drawing 3, it looks like. We only have to block with one thing here. This would be a turn just to do a Seasoned Pyromancer out of the yard and see what else my opponent does. Unfortunately, we're only at 4 mana, so it's not possible. Bowmat's used here. Alright, so this is a great turn to potentially be doing this Collective Brutality. We're not quite there with Croxa, but being able to steal something and kill this and then also play this Channeler down is probably the best thing we could be possibly doing this turn. I don't believe I'm going to need to gain life here. Oh, Swift Spear, Mountain. So they kind of blanked on everything that they have. We'll play Channeler down here and pass turn. We can attack too. Alright, so just a Swift Spear to beat here. Don't really have anything else. It's frightening. I think this turn they've got a pop Relic, which is fine. So it's a good thing to pop. Uses this. Get rid of a Marsh Flats there. Plays a land. Bloop. Plays a Swift Spear. Bloop. Mountain Unknown card. Plays Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, pretty easy block here with a Channeler. I want to be using pretty much all of the stuff in my hand. We have 1, 2, 3. Not quite enough here. It's a Bridge. Chandra just down tick here, sit back. It's not a bad turn. I don't think I'm disappointed with that turn. Save Blood Chiefs for the Obosh later. We have just this random Swift Spear, which we can jump block for quite a while. This doesn't encourage them to pop off the Relic yet, which saves our Seasoned Pyromancer for probably another turn or two. We'll just pass back. A lot of blockers. That's what we're going to do here. Block, block, block. Opponent does get a few redraws here with their Sunbaked or their Mountain here. I wonder if they cash this in this turn, trying to find something to deal with our board. Nope. Okay. Seems okay. Relic won't be able to target Seasoned Pyromancer If I hit the land drop and it's not a shock, sorry, it's not a fetch, I might try to get that Seasoned Pyromancer out of the yard. Plays a land. So we have 2 unknowns and Obosh still in the companion slot. Being that we're on turn 6 here against Prowess, I feel like we are very much ahead. We're going to Bolt Channeler. Well, we'll just let that go to the bin. No reason to get rid of anything in my hand. It's all very powerful. Okay. I presume we're going to go to combat now. Does and attacks Chandra. We'll chump block. Like to use another use out of Chandra here if possible. One, two, three, four. We don't quite have 5 things here in the yard. A fetch land's going to immediately get the relic to be used probably. Although they could use the relic just tapping it down. They're in a difficult situation because they don't want to pop the relic probably too early. They put Obosh to hand. Okay, we'll exile a Bloodstained Mire. Trying to keep Crocs as an option here. Alright, so we have a Collective Brutality here. I wonder if I get lucky enough here with my Collective Brutality to pitch a bridge here, and using this mana, we could kind of get them. So let's go up for mana here. Let's 2-mode, attempt to kill and check hand. If they let this resolve, we get to Croxen respond next. I almost want them to pop this, so I'm grabbing something here. They did let it resolve. We hit nothing. That's totally fine. We get to Croxa now. Oh no, opponent. Croxa. We know it's Obosh plus land. Obviously the land is going away here. Needed to pop in response there. Alright, so we have an Obosh to beat, and we have a Blood Chiefs in hand. It's looking pretty good here. This also means they take a little bit of damage. We have, what, 5 mana here? If they pop Sunbaked Canyon, they can't play anything. We're going to hit for 9, plus the Chandra uptick here. Looks like we've got this one. Small little things, I think, that, Lucky, if you are watching this. I know you're on definitely the back half here of this game. But I do think popping this relic a little bit earlier takes the graveyard out of this game. But we did have a lot of answers. We did have a lot. Should have it here. We'll see what they've got. 6 mana to play with. If they have a land, they need to cantrip the relic. Ooh, we're going to firebolt this. All right. Ooh, okay. I kind of like that. All right, firebolts. We know that they can pitch an Obosh here and not take damage. Relic activation. We'll get in. Pia Kieran's going to seal this game up, though. Attack for 7. I don't believe there's a lot they can do. Obosh is pitched here. 1 card in hand. I'm at 16. Pretty healthy here. I'm not afraid of an anger either. Pia Kieran Alar down. Go ahead, opponent. I fear no anger. They would need anger plus a bolt here. We'll see what they got. And We're paying. Ooh, Seasoned Pyromancer. All right. We're digging. Got rid of a Pillage. Pillage actually might have done a little bit here due to the Crocs and the Piakir and the Lar. I don't know when they got that Pillage, obviously. Land drop. Alright, we get the GGs. We'll reveal our Blood Chiefs as well in hand. Had quite a few things covered there. Pretty good game. I think you got to pop the Relic a little bit earlier from our opponent. But we had a lot of removal. We had a lot of value. And we had the bridges back up in case our removal didn't get us there. Red-black taking down Prowess. We'll see you all in the next one. Losing to Omnath and Euro. Clearing the board. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 after. Red-black, mid-range, dark pyro, splash of prison, whatever you may call this, it's doing well. Let's find match 5. We found our opponent right on time. Let's play Magic. Probably would help if I did that. Perfect. We good. We good. Found this opponent, but they're not clicking. They fear us. By the way, no Blood Moon. What does that mean for Blood Moon? Alright, opening hand here. Inquisition, Thoughtseize. Looks completely fine to me. We'll probably load up here with an Inquisition first, then Thoughtseize. By the way, I believe the list has 22 lands, and it's been playing out fairly well. Plus all the card draw that we have is definitely helping us to find those extra lands. Alright, Blood Moon would be fantastic, by the way, here. That being said, let's begin with an Inquisition and try to tear this hand apart. Alright, Primeval Titan, some Turn Timbers here as well. I like this. So we do play one of those Turn Timbers. We explore. We have a bouncy land in here too. Field. Alright, so we have Liliana and Croxa. We have 1, 2, not a 4th land just yet. We do have Castle, though. I think it's just got to be a Thoughtseize here. Ooh, 2 Primeval Titans. Okay. That's a bit rough. We thought we were going to steal a Primeval Titan. Alright, so we take... Honestly, maybe I just take the Turn Timber here. It's kind of a cute thing to do, but then they play Gruul here. Liliana, maybe next turn, into Seasoned Pyromancer or Bridge. I can probably beat a couple Titans. I can probably beat a couple Titans. Let's see if we can. The bounce land kind of sets them back here as well. Gruul Turf played. They put the Turn Timber back into hand. Let's go ahead and make them discard again. We do miss our land drop, unfortunately. We do need that 3rd land for Bridge. Opponent gets rid of one of the Primeval Titans, puts the Turn Timber back. We do have 4 mana, so Castle's going to show up. Make 6 mana, and we're going to have a Primeval Titan. 2 cards to beat here. Definitely want to be playing this Bridge next. Although we could Liliana downtick if they don't have enough for the field. Options, options, options. Bajuka Bogs us. Baba Croxa. Land. Come on. Yeah. Alright. I actually like Liliana downtick here. It's one of the few times I'm going to kill the Primeval Titan. We got plenty of time to put this Bridge down. Don't worry. Besides, if they get a lot of tokens, Bridge isn't that great. Need to be able to discard a little bit. Makes a lot of mana, but splashes a little bit of red here. New Primeval Titan. That's a triple Primeval Titan. We have a Teleria West. It's not good for us. Make some field tokens. Definitely a Bridge turn, by the way. We need to stop this from killing us. So they haste out the Primeval Titan here, which is pretty good for them. So they do get our Liliana here. We thought we were safe, but this list having the haste garrison is a problem for us. All right, we're at 18. They're representing 14 here. I get to put Vista down and slap down a bridge and just pass the turn. I will get to kill one zombie, luckily. But I don't know how lucky that really is. A Dryad does kill us pretty quickly in this game. Scary thing is this seasoned Pyromancer actually will ruin us with the zombies. This coming turn might be just hopefully a land drop plus Chandra. We'd prefer to have Chandra down here, but a couple seasoned Pyromancers is going to be awful. Magnetic Channeler would probably be our best draw after playing Bolt here, killing one of the zombies. The question will be, do I take 14, 15 damage, go to 3, and then this is just killing me on the first Dryad plus land? Or do I take 1, go to 17, kill one of these, and then I'm only taking 16. Sorry, 14, I'd only take 12. There's an Explore. A Dryad with a bounce land kills us pretty much. Explore, explore. Wonder if I'm supposed to then just instead bolt upstairs. Take the 15, go to 3. I guess we would be asking for a little bit more damage if we go ahead and kill one of these. Let's kill one of them. Just a touch more damage. Alright. We take 12, go to 5. Bounce lands, field, Teleria West to hand. Teleria West, transmute, Summoner Pact. Summoner Pact, go and get Dryad. Plays Dryad. Plays a bounce land. I can kill Dryad. Do they get to replay? Did they play a land? They already played a land for this turn. I'm at 2. I need a land here so that I can play Chandra down, take and play the land. Oh, did they get it? Oh, they did an Explore earlier this turn, didn't they? Ah, we're just dead. We're just dead. Alright. If we would have played Bridge first over Liliana, we would have been fine, but we didn't expect them to have the ability to haste out. Alright. Pillages are in for this one. Ashioks are in for this one. Getting to use pretty much everything in our sideboard, which is always a really good thing. This all comes in here. Honestly, this is a matchup where Seasoned Pyromancer could be questionable. Liliana could be questionable as well. Let's see here. Bolts are a little bit Honestly, young Pyros aren't very good here either. Let's keep a bolt. Let's take this out for a sec. I want to bring another Liliana in. We'll take one Crocs out for Liliana. Croxa can get Bajuka Bog pretty quickly. Blood Chiefs is here to take care of some of the more pesky things. Dryad and Primeval Titan. Pillage is here to hopefully set them back a few lands. This would be one of the few matchups that I would like to have a Blood Moon in the current meta. Unfortunately, we don't. Titan's sometimes playing the version with the new Elf and Flagstones, and I don't particularly like Blood Moon in that match, unfortunately. Keep the opening hand here. At least we get to check on their hand, play a Channeler, and get a Liliana down. Will it be enough, though? We'll find out. This will put Channeler to the test here. For sure. Definitely going to fetch here. Fetch for probably a basic. Make it look like I have Blood Moon in the list. For fetching for a basic swamp, always use your Marsh Flats. Your Bloodstain Mire hits a lot more cards. Alright, so we have an Amulet here. I have a Dryad, I have a couple Explorers, and I have a Summoner Pact. I think because I have the Liliana that can kill the Dryad, I'm going to get rid of the Amulet because it creates more broken states here with what they can do. A couple Explorers are going to be a problem. Not to mention this land will kind of tempo them out for a turn. Ooh, and a turn is all we're gonna need here. Channeler, pass. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Ashiok gonna show up. Ooh, they hit their land. Decides to explore and puts the turf and picks up a forest. Let's go ahead and use Channeler here on Marsh Flats. Wow, we hit a lot of things that I'd like to play right now. I almost want to just pillage this. Man, I like that idea. I'm getting baited by being able to pillage here, but pillaging this sets them back an extra land here. Then we can Ashiok them next turn. And we can mill ourselves trying to grow Channeler much larger. They play their land back out here and they re-explore. Re-explore. Finds a Teleria West. Let's put... Oops. Mana was for Seasoned Pyromancer. Let's play an Ashiok down here. I'm going to mill myself. We don't grow any larger, unfortunately, but that's okay. Worth a shot. There's Dryad. So Liliana was hidden from this one. There's a field. There's a Valakut. Let's get rid of Bloodstained Mire here. Ooh, there's a Terminate. Maybe I just do Terminate here. Terminate looks pretty cute. I'm just going to pass back with the Ashiok at 4. I like using the Terminate off the Channeler because the Channeler is getting closer to being a 4-4, which could win this game. Turn Timber here. I do have to worry about the Field of the Dead. Blood Chiefs is an okay draw. Let's get rid of Seasoned Pyromancer here. Hitting a Chandra is a-okay. I like that. Go up for damage. Pass turn. Keeping Ashiok at 4 here in fears of a Valakut's trigger. Relic. Graveyard is dead. That means this will just be a 1-3. We know they have Pact here. There are 6 lands currently. Bounces, field. Makes a zombie. They bounce a Turn Timber. Not great for us. Let's go up, trying to find like a Thoughtseize type of effect. Find nothing. Chandra is almost there at an emblem. I feel like this turn is just Liliana, uptick, and hold on to Blood Chiefs and do blocking here. And again, holding Ashiok at 4 over something else. Alright, let's see what they've got for us. Pops Relic. We got the Power Planeswalkers here. This is enough for a Turn Timber. Here we go. What do they find? Dryad kills some things. Azusa. I'm good with that. Gruul well, maybe I'm not as... I hate pitching because I have the Blood Chiefs here. We'll let them do this numerous times because I don't guarantee myself the ability to find anything specific here. New Liliana. So I can down tick, kill something, play, down tick, kill something. Blood Chief, one of these. Doesn't save Chandra unless I found like a spell off the top. Let's go up. Find a new Channeler here. Can play new channeler. Let's go ahead and kill one of the zombies. Let's get rid of... Oh, shoot. It's not 2, it's 3. No! Let's use Chandler getting rid of Liliana. Alright, well, we take the land because I can't play the other thing. I feel like I've goofed up. Azusa wasn't too bad off turn timber with a bounce land in hand, being able to just replay that several times over. Explorers. They have just enough lands for this field as well. Wonder what they take care of here. We did pitch a Liliana. Land. It's not a bounce land. That's good for us. That's a bounce land. Alright, we're just going to go wide with our zombies here. How would you like to attack me, opponent? 4 at Chandra, 2 at Chandra, 2 at... Oh, all at Chandra. Well, I'll block one of these for fun. Alright, so we lose Chandra but keep Ashiok here. We're not going to dig anymore too much. I think the channelers have to go finding a bridge at this point in the game. Might double down on digging. Why double down on digging when you can just do this instead? Alright. Let's discard Blood Chiefs to see what else I find. I find a new Chandra. Let's play new Chandra here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can play the bridge as well. There we go. We'll just uptick here. See what they want to get rid of. We kind of have them locked out. Get rid of a Bajuka Bog so they have that bounce land in hand. Kind of makes sense here. They'll just bounce and make a bunch of zombies. They basically need the Dryad at some point. If they can find the Dryad, then they're in good shape here. We only get to look 3 deep every time with the Channeler, but I think when we look at this game, Channeler really does a lot here. And it's done quite a bit this entire game. I almost need to somehow kill the Azusa to prevent this, but this isn't the most worrisome thing to be seeing here. As long as I have Ashiok, they can't use Teleria West. Yeah, they're getting a big board. Yeah, as soon as they kill my bridge, we're done. It's not the point. It's not the point. All right, let's convert. Let's go up here first. Ooh, we have a Thoughtseize. I actually kind of like the Thoughtseize here. We get to take a Baloth. They gain a little bit of life. All right. Use the Channeler here on the cliffs. We get a Pillage and a Croxa. So I can pillage a land. I'm going to get rid of Valakut here because it's the most worrisome of the two. We're going to go up with Lily and pass. They're at 19, and I can get rid of whatever's in the hand every time. The scariest thing is something that kills bridge. Like a force. Oh gosh, this is 4 mana. Engineered at 3. Well, that kind of does it too. That kind of does it too. Oh, well, we did say that something that kills me would get rid of bridge. We're only a few turns away from the Channeler being able to do what it needed to. Or sorry, Chandra being able to get us there. Ah, that's a shame. Dark Pyro, though, 3-2 overall. Maybe getting one stolen from us there. Maybe. We'll never know. We'll never know. 3-2, though. We'll see you on the conclusion and our thoughts on Dark Pyro in Modern. 3-2 as we see it here, playing Dark Pyro in Modern. A red-black mid-range list sporting a little bit of bridge. Now, what did we think of the list overall? Really, this list is attempting to challenge how important is Blood Moon in the matchups, and can we do something a little bit different when we splash into the colors of black? When we splash to white, we're doing a little more restriction, things like red-white lockout, getting rid of lands is kind of the game plan. Here, we have a bit more interaction. We're playing a little more on that Jund flavor, if you will. Channeler. It's good. It's good in a list like this. It can be a beater. It digs you a lot. It finds you what you need. I like it. Definitely like it, especially when you have so many interactive spells. I think Channeler and honestly Thoughtseize or Inquisition, along with typically Bolt in those colors, that's just where you want to be. I actually like the young Pyromancer. He didn't do a whole lot this game, but I do like him instead of, say, 4th Kroxa or some other smaller creature. We didn't play Rabblemaster in this list. I don't think Rabblemaster would have done very well in this league. We're not really running into too much control. The first match, you could argue, is a bit of control, but at the same time, they're still beating you down with creatures, so there's that to consider. Would Bridge have been very good? Not necessarily. And would Blood Moon have been very good? Not necessarily. This is why we're questioning some of our Blood Moon actions. Would Chalice have done very well? Absolutely, but we were deciding to go with more interaction than using Chalice as our lock piece. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this list. I do think red-black's very strong right now. I think if those are colors that interest you, something along this, a mid-range, or even just kind of a bigger creature match will work well. Any final notes? We didn't find ourselves against Dredge or anything that cared about the graveyard. We have probably about 3 slots here. I would probably not forfeit the graveyard completely. Maybe a pair of Nile Spell Bombs would have been just a little bit better, and then that opens you up for one other card. Overall, though, red-black, mid-range, Pyro, the Dark Pyro. A Halloween special here for YouTube. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Take it easy. Be safe this evening, whatever you may be doing, and we'll see you in the next matches. We have Extra Life coming up next Saturday. Stay tuned. Check out our Twitter, Twitch, and here on YouTube for information on that. As always, take care for the kids later, and have a good one.